Tonight, you'll fall asleep on a mattress with springs, foam, and a duvet stuffed with feathers. It took humans 200,000 years to earn that, because for most of human history, there was no bed, no mattress, no pillow, just the cold, hard ground. So how did a species that can't sleep in trees, can't grow fur thick enough for the cold, and is completely helpless while unconscious, survive the night every single night for thousands of generations? Here's the strange part. Every other great ape on Earth still builds a new nest, high in the trees, every single night. Humans are the only ones who stopped. Give up the trees, and you're exposed to every predator that hunts at night. Keep the trees, and you never evolve the deep, restorative sleep the human brain actually needs. This is the original logic behind the invention of the bed. To understand how we got from bare rock to memory foam, we first need to understand the biological gamble our ancestors made, the moment they climbed down and never went back up. Every great ape, chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, builds a fresh nest each night, high in the canopy, safely out of reach of ground predators. It's a brilliant system. No lions can climb high enough. No hyenas can reach you. You sleep where nothing can touch you. But somewhere along the way, our ancestors gave that safety up. They started sleeping on open ground, exposed, every single night. Why would any species trade total safety for total exposure? The answer lies in the one thing trees can't give you: fire. Fire doesn't just warm you, it repels nearly every nocturnal predator on Earth. Suddenly, the ground wasn't a death sentence. It was an option. And with that safety, evolution made a bet. Give humans a smaller stomach, a bigger brain, and a nervous system that demands deep, uninterrupted sleep to function. Here's the biological twist. Humans actually sleep less total hours than most primates, but far more efficiently, with a much higher share of deep, restorative REM sleep. Evolutionary anthropologists believe this efficient sleep only became possible once humans felt safe enough on the ground to let their guard down completely. But fire alone wasn't enough. Bare ground is still cold, damp, hard, and crawling with parasites. Fire solved the predator problem, but something else had to solve the ground problem, or humans would trade one danger for another: disease. To find out how they solved it, we have to travel to a cave in South Africa, to one of the most important sleep discoveries ever made. It's called Sibudu Cave, and buried in its floor, archaeologists found something nobody expected. What they found wasn't just old dirt. It was the world's oldest known bed. 77,000 years ago, someone at Sibudu Cave built a bed. Deliberately layered grass, sedge, and rushes spread thick across the cave floor. That single layer lifted sleepers off the cold, damp rock, insulating them, cushioning them, and keeping them dry through the night. But here's where it gets genuinely strange. On top of that grass, they placed something else entirely: specific, carefully chosen leaves. Researchers identified the plant as Cryptocarya woodii, a leaf that, when crushed, releases compounds that repel and kill insects. That means 77,000 years ago, someone already understood which plants kept mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas away from where they slept. Then, it was crushed insect-repelling leaves laid beneath the body. Now it's the exact same chemistry, extracted and sprayed onto modern mattress protectors and bug repellents. But the real genius wasn't just what they put down, it was what they did when the bedding wore out. Evidence at Sibudu shows the bedding was periodically burned, old layers set alight, then replaced with fresh grass and leaves entirely. Burning destroyed the bedbugs, lice, and parasites that built up over weeks of use, essentially the world's first pest control system. Then, it was burn and replace every few weeks. Now it's washing your sheets. But the underlying logic hasn't changed in 77,000 years. And Sibudu wasn't even the earliest example. At Sibudu Cave, also in South Africa, grass bedding evidence dates back as far as 200,000 years. That means the instinct to build a clean, insulated sleeping surface may be almost as old as our species itself. In other sites, archaeologists found evidence of raised sleeping platforms. Simple wooden frames lifting bedding even further off the ground. Elevation meant less contact with cold ground, fewer crawling insects, and better airflow. 3 problems solved with one simple idea. Then there's the evidence found on the sleepers themselves. Ancient bone and antler combs, fine-toothed enough to remove lice from hair. Grooming wasn't vanity. It was survival maintenance, removing parasites before they could spread through the whole sleeping group. Then, it was a bone comb by firelight. Now, it's a plastic knit comb from the pharmacy, solving the exact same problem, the exact same way. But perhaps the most important discovery isn't a tool at all. It's a pattern. Humans have always slept in groups. More bodies meant more eyes closed, but more ears half listening. It meant shared warmth. And it meant no single person was ever truly unguarded. It's old Bara who first taught the tribe the full method. Grass first, repelling leaves second, fire circle around, sleep in a huddle, burn and rebuild every few weeks. This wasn't instinct alone. It was knowledge, tested over a lifetime, and passed carefully from elder to the next generation. And once you see the full method, you start noticing it everywhere. Because we never actually stopped using it. Every layer of a modern mattress, the base support, the cushioning foam, the breathable cover, mirrors exactly what old Bara was doing 77,000 years ago. Every dust mite-resistant mattress cover and every bottle of bug spray traces its logic straight back to a single crushed leaf on a cave floor. Every time you strip your sheets and throw them in the wash, you're performing the modern, sanitized version of the exact same burn and replace ritual. Every comb, every lice treatment, every hair brushing routine before bed carries the same DNA as that bone comb by the fire. And that ancient instinct to sleep in a group? It's why children still feel safer sharing a room, why couples sleep better next to another body, and why total silence and total solitude can feel unsettling at night. Even the way you burrow under a duvet, arranging pillows just right before you can relax, is the exact same nesting instinct every great ape still uses tonight, high in the trees. We didn't lose the instinct to nest. We just moved it indoors, onto springs and memory foam instead of grass and leaves. Raised platform beds became bed frames. Bed frames became box springs. The 18 inches between you and the cold ground tonight is a direct descendant of that first wooden platform. None of this was about comfort for its own sake. Every single layer solved a real, life-threatening problem. Cold, parasites, predators, exhaustion. This is the original logic. The modern bed isn't a luxury. It's the final form of one of humanity's oldest and most quietly brilliant survival technologies. Old Bara never knew the word insecticide. She just knew which leaf kept her tribe safe. And that was enough to change how humans have slept for 77,000 years. And tonight, when you climb into bed without a single thought about predators, parasites, or the cold, hard ground beneath you, that eases the whole point. So, next time you fluff your pillow or wash your sheets, remember, you're running a 77,000-year-old routine. The grass, the leaves, the fire circle, the burn and rebuild ritual, It's all still here, just rebranded as memory foam and laundry day. Here's a question worth sitting with tonight. How much of your bedtime routine is really about comfort? And how much of it is a 77,000-year-old survival instinct you've never once questioned? And if you think that's surprising, wait until you find out why humans are the only animals on Earth that can throw an object hard enough and accurately enough to kill from 30 feet away. If you want to keep uncovering the original logic behind everything we take for granted, make sure you're subscribed, because next week's mystery might change how you see your own arm. And tell me in the comments, could you have fallen asleep on bare ground, in the open, 77,000 years ago? Or are you already too spoiled by your mattress? And if you haven't already, go back and watch how this same tribe survived deadly winters, extreme heat, and sickness with absolutely nothing but ingenuity. The story really is one continuous investigation. Thanks for watching Original Logic. Stay curious.